What do we have here? Question we must ask ourselves every day, probably. But I'm going to try to stick to the script today, ladies and gentlemen. My name's Rhodes, and I'm here today to speak about my older brother, Master Richard Rhodes, my only biological sibling. Matt asked me to be his DM. I immediately knew the exact moment that I would bring up during this. This story is about a time when I found out that I not only had an older brother, but I also had a #1 homeboy for life. You see, Matt and I are almost 5 years apart, so I wasn't too sure that Matt had my back. To the max when I was 8 years old in 1986, growing up in Coldwater, Ohio. So not only did we have a big age difference between us, I also had to endure what some people would call pure, unadulterated, childish torture for many years from this guy in the horrifying form of bungled professional wrestling maneuvers like the figure 4 leg lock, the reverse camel clutch, the sleeper hold, as well as his signature move, the Cleveland pile driver, wherein he humiliated his unconscious victim with egregious amounts of facial flatulence that would snap Macho Man Randy Savage's Slim Jim in half from 5 football fields away. Oh, and how could I forget the time that Matt sneak attacked me with a temporary paralyzing suplex? I had to muffle my exasperated pleas for parental assistance until I regained the use of my lower extremities over a half hour later. So needless to say, I had some trust issues with this guy. But Matt put all my doubts to sleep with one amazing, graceful gesture of blood-related camaraderie. One autumn morn, in 1986, I was walking to West Elementary with my 2 buddies, Rodney and Mitch, when some thuggish, ruggish 4th grader started picking on me for no good reason. He was calling me filthy names like Doo-Doo Head and George Michael, while trying to kick-trip me from behind and ripping my highly prized Orco backpack. This hideous stupidity went on for days. Rodney and Mitch even stopped walking with me to school. It was that bad. Got so bad that I had to take on some impressively desperate measures of my own. On one bubble-bursting morning, this burgeoning jerk's hurtful twerking forced me to do something that I'd never tried to do before. I stepped back, reached to my side, grabbed an invisible magic sword, and exclaimed, "And by the power of Grayskull, I have the power!" A momentary stunned silence was followed by hysterical laughter. The flagellating 4th grader who was picking on me squealed,
"I can't believe this kid really thought that he was He-Man!"
Laughed his A off at me. So apparently I'd been watching a little too much TV and believed in some weirdo cartoon rhetoric that didn't jive too well in real life situations. So now this mean kid was really giving me the dirty business like all day, every day. So I finally broke down, told my parents that night at family supper. Matt Rhodes was sitting there, obviously, part of the family. three words. He said, "I got this." I said, "All right." The folks just oddly nodded and said, "Hey, Jay, everything's going to be all right." The next day on the way home from school, I was going through the same jazz with the same spaz again. I thought nobody was going to help me. Nothing had really changed. Until I was turning the corner by the United Methodist Church, where our family worshipped and religiously attended. And out from behind the bush-laden placard that was, talking about that Sunday's sermon came my brother. And he got in this 4th grader's face. And he yelled at this bully, stood up for me and said, "Get the F away from my little brother." That sucker punk chump started to shake and said,
"Well, I'm going to get my older brother."
Matt said, "Okay, I know your older brother. Go get him. I can beat him up." So now the kids really, and then Brian Pax, Shane Gass, and a couple other his buddies came out from behind the bush too. It's like, "Yeah, get your older brother." So the kid's really backing up. He's like,
"Well, I'm going to go get my dad."
So then everybody started chanting. Matt's leading them and said, "Get your dad! Get your dad! Get your outside this kid's house. He ran off into his house to try to get whoever he think he was going to get. He stood out there for like 20 minutes. Nobody came out, and I never got picked on again. Devin, just like Matt had my back during this incident and during many other pivotal moments in my life, I know that he will protect you. And, you know, people are picking on you or whatever. His tools that mess with you, he'll do just like he did with me and continues to do with me. This guy still has my back for some reason after all the chicanery that I've performed in my life. So enjoy your lives together. Love each other like tomorrow is going to die. And have a good time all the time. Cheers.
Now you guys know why I went first.
Picture.